What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Oak Tree Football Channel. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another 2020 college football schedule breakdown and record prediction. And today we are doing another SEC team. I believe this is the fifth SEC team we've done. Today we're going to be doing the Auburn Tigers. So Auburn is a team that I'm actually pretty high on this year. I think they can have a very good season with players like Bo Nix, who was a freshman last year, coming into his second year. I expect to step up from him. Jatarvius Whitlow can be a good running back. So it is a pretty good roster. And then Seth Williams at the receiver position. That's a good three players right there that can really be a big part of your offense. They are losing Derek Brown in the draft, which was a big loss, but I'm really high on them. Of course, they are playing in the SEC, and the SEC like almost every other year, and I really do think this year is very, very competitive. That's why I've been doing so many SEC teams, and there's more to come. But it's very competitive this year, and I think there are a lot of teams that can definitely be towards the top of college football. I've done 4 SEC teams so far that I believe can be in the race for the college football playoff, and that was LSU, Alabama, Florida, and Georgia. Those, I think, can be in the race for the college football playoff, but there's 2 more I think can be a top 10 team. One of them I haven't done yet, and one of them I'm doing today. That is the Auburn Tigers. Personally, I think the Auburn Tigers can be a top 10 team this year. If everything goes right, they can definitely be a top 10 team this year. But now that I've said all that stuff, let's just get into the video. So they went 9-4 last year, which was okay. They had some good games, especially winning in the Iron Bowl, but they also did have a few losses last season, which they would not like to have this year. And then they had a really good recruiting class, top 10 recruiting class. A lot of SEC teams had good recruiting classes, though, but it's still going to help that they had the 7th best recruiting class. All right, so now into their schedule. Week 1, they have Alcorn State. This one should be easy. They are not the only team. If you've been watching the other videos in the series, you'll know that there are a few teams that have an easy game to start off the season, and that's really good because it gets them back in the field of the game. It gets them ready for what's ahead. It gets new players, new starters. It gets them ready, and I think this will be a good way for Bo Nix. I think this will be a good start of the season for Bo Nix. Last season, Auburn had Oregon in the first game of the year, and they were able to win that game. But I mean, Auburn, that's not going to be a help for them if they have to play a really tough team in Week 1. Here they have a really easy team, and I think that's a good start to the season. Week 2, this is actually going to be a really entertaining game, and I cannot wait to see this. It's against North Carolina. North Carolina could be a very, very good team this season. Sam Howell could actually be, maybe a sneaky candidate to be potentially a Heisman Trophy finalist. They have a lot of talent on the team. It's another freshman going into his second year at quarterback, Sam Howell, of course. I think both Sam Howell and Bo Nix could both be maybe sneaky players to be a Heisman Trophy finalist if they play well. And no team has the home field advantage in this game as it is in Atlanta, Georgia. So this is going to be a fun game to watch early in the season. I think it's one of the better games of Week 2. That's going to be a really fun game to watch, and it's going to be a tough one for Auburn. I think they get a win in Week 1, but Week 2, this is a tough game. I could 100% see them losing, but I could also 100% see them winning. So that's going to be a very, very close game, and it's going to be very fun to watch. Week 3, they have the first real away game. Of course, Week 2 was a neutral field game. Week 3, they have their first away game, and it is a pretty easy team. It's Ole Miss. Ole Miss went 5-7 last year, I believe, and they just aren't the best team at the end of the day. They could definitely be better with Lane Kiffin as their coach. They could be maybe a team to watch out for. They could be a fun team to watch next season, but by no means would I think they'll be a good team next season. And I do think this should be a fairly easy win for Auburn. I'm not saying that it's going to be a blowout, but I do think it should be a win for Auburn, and I don't think I can see them losing this game unless something shocking happened and Ole Miss is suddenly really good next season or Auburn is just suddenly really bad. I can't see Ole Miss winning this game. Week 4, they have another easy game, which is good, and that's against Southern Miss. So 2 Mississippi teams in a row, 2 very winnable games, and I think they will win both of them probably. Unless, like I said, one of these teams is just super good out of nowhere, or Auburn is just really bad out of nowhere, which I don't think those things will happen. Southern Miss, not a great football team. Auburn, I think, is, so they will be able to win this game, I think. And then they have another challenge, and it's not a good spot for this challenge to be, which you'll see in a second. They have Kentucky. I actually don't think this game will be that close. I do think Auburn will be able to give Kentucky a pretty big, they'll be able to beat them by, I think, a pretty big score. I'm not saying Kentucky's a bad team. I just don't think they'll really be able to stay in this game. I don't know why. I just feel like Auburn will be the better team, and Auburn will be able to overpower Kentucky at home as well. So I think this will be a pretty big win for Auburn. But Week 6, this is one of the toughest games of the year. On the road against Georgia. If you have not seen my other prediction videos, Georgia is a team that I think will be really, really good this year. And I don't think I'm the only one that says that. On the road as well, this is a tough game, and I'm not sure if they can win this game. Coming off of a tough game already, I don't think I don't think Kentucky will put up that much of a fight, but it's still a tough game. I still think it will be a tough game because Kentucky has a good defense. They have some good players in their offense as well. But Georgia is just great defense, and I feel like they might be able to shut Auburn down, and then they have the playmakers to get it done on offense. So this Georgia team could be deadly this year, and I can't see Auburn winning this game. I mean, maybe they might be able to sneak out, but it might be close, but I just feel like at the end of the day, Georgia's the better team. They're at home. Everything looks like it's in Georgia's favor, and I think Georgia will win this game. Week 7, this is a really, really tough game to predict. It's at home for Auburn against Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a team that's going to be really fun to watch this season. I think they can be a very highly ranked team, and I will be doing a schedule prediction, record prediction for them soon as well. They could be really, really good this year. I think so. And I think they'll be on a similar level as Auburn this year. So this is going to be a fun game to watch. I think this game might be the decider for who is like the 5th best team in the conference, or who is the 5th ranked team in the conference. Because I do think that Florida, Alabama, LSU, and Georgia will be the top 4. But Texas A&M is a good team, and so is Auburn. And this is going to be a really, really fun game to watch. Auburn might have the upper hand being at home, but A&M could definitely pull something off in this game, and I would not be surprised if Texas A&M is able to win this game. They then have a bye week, and then they go on the road to play Mississippi State, their 3rd Mississippi team they're playing this season. But this one should be much of a problem, like the other 2 games against Mississippi teams. Just not that good of a football team. I think bottom dwellers in the SEC, and it should be a win. And then I think it'll be the same in Week 10, playing Arkansas, who, just like Mississippi State, is a bottom dweller in the SEC. And I think these should be 2 back-to-back wins for Auburn. They're better than both of these teams. They are on the road against Mississippi State, who I think Mississippi State is better than Arkansas, so I think Mississippi State will put up a better fight. With that being said, though, I don't think they'll put up much of a fight, and I think Auburn will be able to overpower both these teams. And then Week 11, they have UMass, another easy game. So 3 easy games in a row. I think these should all be wins. And I think this is a very good spot to have easy games because the end of their season is not easy at all. They're both very losable games. Week 12, they play LSU, the defending national champions. They are at home for this game, and LSU is losing all kinds of talent. I could definitely see them winning this game. But LSU is still a really good team. They still have Ed Orgeron as their head coach. It's going to be tough, and I think it will be close just because they're at home, and I think Auburn and LSU are on similar levels based on talent right now. It's going to be a close game. And it's going to be very, very fun to watch. And it could have some serious, if LSU loses this game, they play Texas A&M in their final game of the season. That could also be a loss. So if LSU loses or ends the season on 2 losses, their record might not be that great of a record. So I feel like this is an important game for LSU. And it's an important game for Auburn if they want to keep their chances, because at this point, I think they have probably 1 loss coming into this game. that could be enough to get them in the college football playoff, maybe even, or probably the SEC championship game. So this is going to be an important game for them. But I don't think they'll win. I mean, it's going to be close. This game, I think they have a chance at winning. Week 13, I don't know if they have much of a chance for this game. It's at Alabama. I don't think Alabama is that much better than them, but just because they're on the road against Alabama, I don't think they'll win this game. Alabama is one of the best teams in the SEC. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Even without Tua, with Mac Jones, they still have a very, very talented roster. And Nick Saban is their head coach, and he's been a good head coach for years now. And Alabama should be a good team this year. And I mean, Auburn will probably be able to put up a fight, but I don't think they'll be able to win this game when it's all said and done. So now, like I always do, I'll go through the games once again, and I'll give my prediction for who I think will win. So week 1 against Alcorn State, I feel like this is an easy one for Auburn. Start off the season 1-0. Week 2, I think they barely squeeze out a victory against North Carolina. I think it's going to be really, really close, but I do think Auburn is the better team, and I think they will be able to win that game. I think they'll beat both the Mississippi teams in week 3 and 4, Ole Miss and Southern Miss. Not that great football teams. I think Auburn will be able to win both of those. Week 5 against Kentucky, I think they'll win this game. I think it'll be a pretty good scoreline as well for Auburn. I think it'll be better than some people might expect. Week 6, though, I have their first loss. Georgia is too good, especially being on the road against Georgia. That's too much, and I cannot see them winning this game by any means. So I can't see Auburn going undefeated this season unless Bo Nix was to have a Joe Burrow-like step up. I'm not saying he will. I'm saying that's probably the only way that they can really be in contention with teams like Georgia and Alabama. Week 7 against Texas A&M, I think they'll squeeze out a victory. It's going to be a fun game to watch, and it's going to be close, but I do think Auburn will be able to win. They then have a bye week, and then I think they'll go on a 4-game win streak against Mississippi State, Arkansas, UMass, 3-game win streak against Mississippi State, Arkansas, and UMass. And then they have LSU. I was really debating if they're going to win this game or not, but I do think LSU will be able to squeeze out a victory, even on the road. I do think LSU will be able to squeeze out a victory because even losing the talent that they had, they still have some talent on the team, and I do think they will be able to win. But then I think, once again, Auburn will lose in the final week of the season to give them a record of 9-3. Auburn is a very good team. They just have a tough schedule. Best case scenario, I think, for them would probably be 11-1 or 10-2. Because I think I can't see them going undefeated. I think they will either lose to Georgia or Alabama. I think that's their best case scenario. Worst case scenario, I don't know. They could lose maybe 4 games, even 5 games this season. Because it really depends how some of the players play, how well they're coached. Auburn's gonna be a very interesting team to watch this season. But those are my thoughts on Auburn. What are your thoughts on Auburn? Tell me in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're new around here, or just haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more daily NFL and college football, and just all kinds of football. That's the stuff we do on the channel. So if you like football, subscribe because there will be more of that every single day. But thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video.